Broadcasting on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and Rumble. It is I, Pop, your host of Trades Talk Tuesday. Welcome, everybody. Nice to see you all. Jay's daddy and Angry Canadian. You're up awful early. Anyway, thanks for stopping by, you guys. Yes, Trades Talk Tuesday, where you learn about the skilled trades. I've been in the skilled trades for about 25 years, and actually a little longer, but that's all right. And yes, here's where we look at all the stuff that it takes to be in the trades, how to get into them, what to expect. You'll see some pictures, maybe some videos. Try to talk about a bunch of different topics, and don't you guys be afraid to throw out a question there. Anything you gotta know about the skilled trades, I can do my best to answer. But first, what I always do is check out some of the news out in industry. That usually lets you know about how the economy's doing. If you read about more factories being built, or maybe more getting shut down, or maybe there's a strike going on. You never can tell until you look in the business news. I'll do that, courtesy of Plant Magazine. This was one that caught my eye, was the Ballard Power Systems reports third quarter loss, revenue up nearly 30% from a year ago. Back in the 90s, when I was a younger man, Ballard was all that people were talking about. Ballard Power Systems and their fuel cells. They were really going hard that this was the future of how they were going to supply power to vehicles and such. But let's see what's happened so far. It's been 30 years, so. Hello and good night. Oh, Jake D. You can go to sleep, but just leave the stream running, please. What do we got here? Ballard Power Systems Incorporated reported a larger loss in its latest quarter compared with a year ago, despite a nearly 30% rise in revenue. The fuel cell company, which keeps its books in U.S. dollars, says it lost $62.5 million, or 21 cents per share, for the quarter ended September 30th, compared with a loss of $42 million, or 14 cents a share, a year earlier. Total fuel cell products and services revenue amounted to $27.6 million, up from $21 million in the same quarter last year. Ballard says heavy-duty mobility revenue was up 67% at $21.1 million, helped by higher rail and marine revenue, partially offset by lower bus and truck revenue. The company's stationary segment fell 5% to $2.9 million, as lower sales in North America were partially offset by higher revenue in Europe. Emerging and other markets revenue fell 37% to $3.6 million due to lower shipments to Europe. Okay, well, not much of a story coming out of that one. The old view farming. Yeah. We do what we can to get those watch hours up, you know. German Technology Days growth continues in fifth year. Bus maker NFI Group raises full year guidance reports. US $39 million loss. Linamar reports net income of $146 million in third quarter. I don't know what Linamar does. It says it's under the categories of automotive manufacturing. You now have 3 screens of me open. Thanks, Jay's daddy. You're good people. Uniform members vote to ratify new agreement with Stellantis, protecting Brampton auto workers during EV transition. Okay, they've signed an agreement with Stellantis. Biden celebrates a labor deal saving an Illinois auto plant as he promotes a worker-centered economy. You're here for Canada. Nice. Need all the help we can get, you know. President Joe Biden went to Chicago on June 28th to give a landmark speech on Bidenomics, only to learn in private during the trip about a soon-to-close auto factory, news that was a challenge to his vision for the country. Yeah, it's tough when reality kind of hits you right in the face, doesn't it? Especially when you don't even know where you are half the time. This prospect of a shuttered Stellantis plant in the small city of Belvedere became an immediate priority for Biden. Of course it was. He ordered up an economic analysis and spoke to company officials about the plant, according to White House officials. The Democratic president wanted to show that his policies could deliver for workers rather than repeat the decades of factory closures that had gutted parts of the Midwest and fed into a deep political divide. So in other words, he just wanted to buy some votes. On Thursday, Biden will visit Belvedere to showcase that auto plant, which has reopened as part of the settlement of a targeted strike by the United Auto Workers Union. Reopening goes to the heart of who he is, the heart of his vision for the country and how he's led, says Jen O'Malley Dillon, White House Deputy Chief of Staff. She had to speak that for him, I guess. Stellantis, maker of Jeep, Dodge, and Ram vehicles, agreed to hire back 1,200 employees to build pickup trucks and add 1,300 more workers for a battery factory. The resolution of the strike was an early victory for what Biden says is a worker-centered economy, but the success of the factory and the tentative contract with workers will ultimately hinge on the ability of automakers to keep generating profits as they shift toward electric vehicles in a competitive market. Many voters still feel dour about the overall economy, and there is an open question as to whether the UAW contract and signs of wages outpacing inflation can change their views. In polls, U.S. adults have consistently given Biden low marks on the economy after a burst of inflation as the pandemic began to recede. O'Malley Dillon said the UAW contracts and the auto plant reopening reflect a larger focus on workers by the president. Sure it does. Unionized nurses, truck drivers, and others also negotiated to receive pay raises by pushing their employers to recognize the value of their work. On Wednesday, Hollywood actors joined scriptwriters by achieving a tentative contract agreement after a prolonged strike. It reflects a broader trend over the past year that was made possible in part by strong job market, and the unemployment rate is a healthy 3.9%. Yeah, I don't believe that. They don't count people that have stopped looking for jobs. Also, who cares about Hollywood actors? We can get by without having actors. We don't need them. They're not necessary. Labor unions tend to be reliable supporters of Democrats, but by speaking at factories and union halls, Biden is also trying to reach disaffected blue-collar voters who found a voice in former President Donald Trump, the Republican frontrunner for his party's 2024 nomination. Biden argues that innovations within the auto sector, such as EVs, should not lead to layoffs and factory closures. The president's philosophy is that when there's a technology change, industrial companies' first goal should be to retool, revamp, and rehire in the same community. That all costs money. Retooling, revamping, rehiring, that all costs money. So companies do not want to spend any more money than they actually have to. Said Gene Sperling, a senior White House aide who was the liaison to the UAW and automakers during the strike. Trump has said that the rise in EVs backed by the Biden administration will cause factory job losses. This suggests that the work will migrate to China and that the United States should stick with gasoline-powered vehicles, even though the emissions worsen climate change. Honestly, the amount of emissions that engines put out now is much less than it was in the 1970s and 1980s. I think it's gotten a lot better. Biden has a slightly better record on auto industry jobs than Trump. During Trump's presidency, the number of manufacturing jobs in the sector peaked at a little more than 1 million in early 2019 and then began to decline, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. There are nearly 1.1 million auto manufacturing jobs under Biden. The EV shift does carry a risk for automakers. Sales have started to slow amid concerns about recharging and the expensive price of the vehicles, despite tax incentives designed to improve affordability. Not only that, but infrastructure. Where is the infrastructure? You yap it up about all these electric cars. If you can't find a place to charge them, they're going to be just fancy-looking paperweights. So, do that first and then do your push for the cars. Infrastructure first, cars second. But they won't do that. They're just going to keep pushing electric cars on people. And then when there's, in 20 years, when they have to dispose of all the batteries from these cars, we'll see what happens. Guaranteed they just get landfilled. Nobody's going to try to reclaim them. They get sent to third world countries for them to pick apart. Guaranteed. On Thursday, Biden will meet with UAW President Shawn Fain and Governor J.B. Pritzker, Democrat for Illinois, I guess. The UAW has yet to endorse Biden for the 2024 election, unlike most other large unions. During the nearly 45-day strike that hit General Motors, Ford, and Stellantis, the White House chose to talk to all parties while letting UAW execute its strategy of targeted work stoppages. Biden took the step of joining workers on the picket line, a presidential first. That was just a photo op. I don't expect it meant actually much of anything. In calls that White House officials had with Stellantis, the company was never pushed to open the Belvidere factory, but Biden raised the matter. His choice to sympathize with workers as the strike escalated carried some political risk, as high interest rates on auto loans and inflation coming out of the pandemic have become points of criticism by Republican lawmakers. You can't tell me that somebody from the White House didn't phone the head of Stellantis and say, listen, do this and we'll make it worth your while. Doesn't make any sense. There's shenanigans, I'm thinking, going on there. The contracts, if approved by 146,000 union members in the coming weeks, would dramatically raise pay for auto workers. They would get pay increases and cost of living adjustments that would translate into a 33% wage gain. Top assembly plant workers would earn roughly $42 an hour. That's not bad. That's a good wage. Top 1% of tax filers saw incomes rise by almost 10% in 2021. Tesla faces strikes in Sweden unless it signs a collective bargaining agreement. Really? Well, that seems like something I want to look into. Yes. Stockholm. Pressure is growing on Tesla in Sweden, where a trade union is demanding that the Texas-based automaker sign a collective bargaining agreement, which most employees in the Scandinavian country have. Tesla has no manufacturing plant in Sweden, but 130 members of the powerful metal workers union, IF Metal, walked out on October 27th at 7 workshops across the country where its popular electric cars are serviced. Other trade unions in solidarity, including dock workers at Sweden's 4 largest ports, who decided Tuesday to stop the delivery of Tesla vehicles to increase pressure on the automaker to accept the metal workers' demands. On Friday, the Painters Union and 53 painting companies would not do any work on Tesla vehicles in sympathy with IF Metal. If there is no agreement with Tesla by Tuesday, a total of 109 companies may be prevented from handling and painting Tesla cars, it said in a statement. Another major trade union, the Swedish Union for Service and Communications Employees, said it will halt shipments to Tesla on November 20th. Its head, Gabriella Lavecchia, said Tesla is refusing to comply with the rules of the game here in Sweden, calling it completely unacceptable. The fight that IF Metal is now taking on is important for the entire Swedish collective agreement model, said Lavecchia. Sweden's former Social Democratic Prime Minister Stefan Löfven, who once headed IF Metal, also encouraged Swedes to suspend purchases of Teslas until agreement is signed. Shame on you, Tesla. Shame on you, Levin wrote on Facebook on October 26th. Tesla, which is non-unionized globally, did not immediately respond to a request for comment. The IF Metal Union and Tesla Sweden have met twice with... Proofread your articles. The IF Metal Union and Tesla Sweden have met twice without results, according to Swedish media. If Metal said Tesla Sweden has refused to sign a collective agreement and violates basic principles in the Swedish labor market, it's called such agreements the backbone of the Swedish model. We do not want a model where some companies compete with other serious employers by offering employees worse conditions than they would have with a collective agreement, it said. The union asked for an understanding of consumers, saying, we are doing this for the sake of our members to ensure that they have safe working conditions. The strike resembles the situation in 1985 when the Toys R Us toy chain started up in Sweden, refused to sign a collective agreement, and hired only non-union workers. It resulted in a 3-month strike by the Retail Store Employees Union that snowballed into an all-out boycott as other unions joined in sympathy strikes. The company eventually agreed to sign collective agreements. Yeah, if you're going to play around in Sweden, you know, they're gonna stick together. You can't just come in and try to undercut people. Hey, DJ Ronnie G. Not sure if we ever met. Oh yeah, Jay's daddy. Yeah, DJ Ronnie G. Jay's daddy. Jay's daddy. DJ Ronnie G. Yeah, there you go. I'm sure. I'm thinking. Hopefully, well, Tesla might just pull right out of Sweden. Then we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm curious to know if they're going to make a deal. Seems like Sweden can just shut down the whole country if it feels like it. You have a lot of unions that support one another. Yeah, they're gonna win it. Last one is Unifor Auto Talks, a quiet end to one of the year's biggest labor clashes. Yeah, it wasn't that, it didn't get too crazy. At least I didn't see it that way. All right. Well, for anyone that's lurking, listening, interested in the chats here, sorry, not in the chat, but in the how to get started as an apprentice. How to get started. Become an apprentice. Choose from more than 45 apprenticeship education programs ranging in length from 1 to 4 years. Learn on the job under the guidance of a qualified mentor for 80% of the year. And the other 20% is school time. You're going to receive instruction. You learn in classrooms and labs under the instruction of a trained industry experts for 6 to 10 weeks per year. Earn a post-secondary credential. Qualify for journeyman certification. They say journey person here, but that's just too awkward to say. You're a journeyman, whether you're male or female, and I don't care. So step 1, it really lays it out here for you. Number 1, choose your program. Explore their options and learn about program requirements, right? Choose your program. And here you go. There are lots here, and it's all alphabetical. What's this? Are you an expert in one of or more of Alberta's skilled trades? Sign up to be a member of my skilled trades network and share your feedback. Not right now. Journeyman, no woman allowed. So here you go. You can pick through, and it's all alphabetical. Agricultural technician, appliance technician, auto body technician. You can prepper, refinisher, repairer, automotive service technician, or like that's an auto mechanic. Baker, barber, boilermaker, bricklayer, cabinet maker, carpenter. Cathodic protection. Cathodic protection is like pipelines where they run a current through the pipeline so it doesn't deteriorate. Communication technician, concrete finisher, construction craft worker, cook, crane and hoisting equipment operator for a boom truck or a mobile crane or a tower crane. I mean, that's good stuff. I have my small mobile crane license, so I'm good up to 8.5 ton crane. Just a small one, very small, but the thing is just so useful. You know, you wonder what you did without it for a lot of the jobs. Electric motor, electrician, elevator constructor, field heat treatment technician, floor covering installer, gas utility operator, a gas fitter, A&B, a glazer. That's just you're dealing with glass all the time. Hairstylist. Jay's daddy, what are you interested in? What do you want to look up? Maybe we can look it up for you. There's heavy equipment technician, both off-road, on-road, and transport trailer. Hello, Godzillionaire. Is waifu coordinator a trade? You know what? We're going to make it one. I hear in Wupstotska they have a waifu coordinator is a trade. Industrial construction crew supervisor, industrial mechanic slash millwright. That is my trade. Instrumentation and control technician, insulator, iron worker. landscape horticulturist, a lather, a locksmith, machinist, metal fabricator, motorcycle mechanic, natural gas compression technician, oil and gas transportation services, outdoor power equipment technician for power equipment, for recreational equipment, overhead door technician. Is Milrong an unofficial trade? Oh, shots fired there, Godzillionaire. Heavy equipment and millwright are what you're most interested in going into after CDL is acquired. Ah, I see. Yep. Well, let's have a look then. The one I know most about is millwright, so let's have a look. No, like I've worked with some millwright. I'm not lying. You're right, Godzillionaire. I have worked with some pretty sketchy Milrongs out there, and you're just kind of like, ooh, why are you doing that? You shouldn't be in the trade. Industrial mechanics, millwrights, install, maintain, repair, and troubleshoot stationary industrial machinery and mechanical equipment in sites such as factories, production plants, and recreational facilities. On a typical job, industrial mechanics, millwrights, read diagrams and schematic drawings and service manuals to determine work procedures. Yes. That is one thing that is stressed a lot to us is what is the manufacturer's recommendations. So instead of just guessing or, not knowing or thinking look in the manual from the manufacturer, because if there's any trouble, like for warranty or anything, then you can say, yes, we followed your recommendations or your rules. We followed it to the letter, your instructions. Operate rigging equipment and dollies to place heavy machinery and parts. Yes, I have done that as well. Rigging, you have to know your slings, your shackles, figure out, estimate the weight of what you're lifting. That's an art in itself, because you have to know how much a piece of material weighs. If something's made out of cast iron, okay, it's this much per square foot. Or if it's mild steel, is it stainless? Is it aluminum? What your sling angles have to be, whether you need a spreader bar or not. Do you need to use you need to use a come-along to even out the load. Not everything is lifts up perfectly, right? True story that half the time the OEM has no idea. Yeah, there you go. Fit bearings, align gears and shafts, attach motors and connect couplings and belts to precise tolerances. Yes, all that. Especially swapping out motors. Yeah, come along. It's proper name for it is a lever hoist. But yeah, come along is a brand name, I believe. As far as I've changed a lot of motors out. You get the electrician to disconnect the power, and then you're the one that's pulling the motor off, pulling the gear off of it to put it on the new motor to install it back in, and then call the electrician over to reconnect the wires and check rotation. And bearings, lots of stuff. Bearings that are supporting shafts and all that. You got to figure out how to. Sometimes you get bad failure where you have a bearing that's lost all its rolling elements, and it's just like rubbing on the outer race. The inner race is rubbing on the outer race. I mean, that's pretty bad. I've seen that. Had to deal with that a lot. Getting it off the shaft. Well, we've had many an argument with a salesman about lifting jig spreader bars. Can't you just draw one? because it has to be certified. You need an engineer to do that. Can't just draw up a spreader bar. You have to have like welding procedures developed and everything like that. Everything has to get checked out. It's amazing what needs to go into having a spreader bar. Inner race and outer race, you got her. That's what the bearings have. They have inner races and outer races, and you're supposed to keep rolling elements in between the two, but sometimes they get overheated or something happens, and things go very wrong very fast. A bearing without rolling elements, you mean a sparkler? Yeah, a heat maker. Yeah. Just full of gold, eh? Yeah. What else? Align and test equipment and make necessary adjustments. Of course. Alignment. Using a laser aligner, that's the greatest invention ever for lining up motors and pump shafts and all that. You have to have everything lined up. Otherwise, you're going to have failure after failure, and you're not going to know why. Well, at least the uneducated person wouldn't know why. You know, it would, hello, Veritech. Good to see you. Yeah, I mean, coupling alignment is super important because it'll extend the life of either your bearings or your mechanical seals, anything that has to, you know, if it's going to do a lot of 24/7 rotation, like we have motors and pumps that run 24/7 where I'm at, and they don't stop, you know, and I'm hoping that the ones that I rebuild are able to last until the next shutdown. So hopefully they last a whole year without having any kind of problems, breakdowns, knock on wood. Yeah. And so far so good for me. So I'm happy about that. They perform predictive and operational procedures. Okay, yeah, we're getting into stuff where it's like you don't want breakdown maintenance because you don't want things to break down while while they're running, because that's bad. It's unplanned breakdown, unplanned outage. That's where preventative maintenance comes in, but then you get into predictive maintenance, which is you're going even beyond that, where you're starting to count hours on pieces of equipment, where it's like, okay, at 2,000 hours, this bearing comes out and it gets changed out, and we put it back into service. Like that's where you start counting hours. You're not even waiting for the thing to show any signs of failure. You're just doing it at a specific time. It's like, oh, it's 3 months since we last changed that coupling. Okay, stop the machine, change the coupling, start it back up, let her go. And when you can get to that point, you know, that's pretty good. If you can get into the predictive maintenance, that's a lot of companies don't like that though, because they don't like to stop. That's why a C-face or a D-flange is so good on an electric motor. You use them when you can, no alignment needed. Yeah, amen to that, Godzillionaire. I like it when you can just mate the motor to the gearbox without a coupling or anything like that. That's the best. I like that. I've seen that on a lot of conveyors. Is it me or is the screen blurry? My screen blurry, you guys? It looks good for me. Looking no good for you? You live in the predictive maintenance world? Ah, okay, Godzillionaire. We also service and repair hydraulic and pneumatic systems. Yes. So I do take care of a couple of compressors. I don't do the major stuff, but just anything that requires, your basic cleaning of the radiators, greasing the motor, things like that, making sure it's got enough compressor oil in the system. That's what you need to do. Same with hydraulics. Change filters, make sure there's enough hydraulic oil, make sure there's no leaks. It's funny because in millwrighting you can specialize, so you can be a hydraulic technician and that's all you're going to do. You can be a pneumatic or a compressor guy and that's all you're going to do. So yeah, you can. It's great. It's versatile because you can go and specialize in just any kind of little niche. Do some tack welding. Yeah, I've showed you guys, I've done some welding as well. It's not going to be anything structural or anything pressure related because I'm not allowed to do that. Right? You need a B pressure ticket to do vessels and such. And same with structural, you need to have a proper welding ticket for doing structural. But if it's like little things, making up little brackets and stuff, I don't mind welding that. I'd like to think my welding's good enough that I can get by. Whether it's TIG or MIG or stick welding. So the program information, Jay's Daddy, term of apprenticeship for an industrial millwright is 4 years, minimum 1,560 hours on-job training, 8 weeks of classroom instruction each year. And for me, the 8 weeks, those were always nice. I can weld a broken waifu heart. Yes, let them put the word out. Let them know I can mend their broken hearts. So I always liked the 8 weeks of classroom instruction because for me it was a nice break from work, just to go and hang out at school, not having to get dirty for 8 weeks. Oh, it was just great. Always a fun time. And you met all sorts of people, and actually that's the best place to network, because you'd meet people. Oh, hey, where do you work? Oh, are they hiring? You know, so you could always network and find different people. Would Millwright require trade school before an apprenticeship? No. You can do what's called pre-apprenticeship training, but you wouldn't need it. You wouldn't need it before an apprenticeship. You would get your apprenticeship and then you would do your trade school. How do you not get dirty during training? You should get uber dirty. Oh, it was so nice. I didn't bring my work boots there. I bought a nice new pair of boots to wear to school. And yeah, they still look brand new. You know, you work in a nice shop they had there, and yeah, everything was, you know, yeah, of course your hands would get a bit dirty with grease and stuff like that, but other than that, nothing like when you were out on the job site. It says here apprentices are expected to demonstrate progress in their apprenticeship program within 18 months by engaging in an activity that will lead to the completion of a period of the program. Apprentices may attempt the interprovincial exam in the final period of their apprenticeship training, and if successful, be granted a red seal. A red seal just means you can work across Canada. So if you don't get a red seal, it just means you work in your province / state. And if you get a red seal, you can go all across Canada without having to rewrite the exam for that specific province. Upon successful completion of the apprenticeship program, the apprentice will receive a journeyman certificate and an educational credential. You can earn a journeyman certificate based on work experience. The requirements of an industrial mechanic millwright are minimum of 72 months and 9,360 hours of work experience. A successful theory exam is required, an employer declaration letter. So that's if you haven't gone through an apprenticeship. You can do a trades qualifier. The requirements for an industrial mechanic are, or millwright, a valid recognized credential from another jurisdiction, a successful theory exam. You can get high school credit. A high school student can become an apprentice through the Registered Apprenticeship Program, or RAP program, and gain credits toward apprenticeship training and high school diploma at the same time. I really think they should get more of them into this. Get more high schoolers into this. I think it's a good idea. Got to spread the word to them. I love going to classes for new engineers. They're so cute in their utter ignorance of reality. Oh, nice, Godzillionaire. That's great. Yeah. Yeah, it's fun, eh? You get to see the look on their faces. It's like, oh, then you have to go out here now into the real world. Applicants with an Alberta or recognized trade certificate of one of the following trades may be eligible for credit towards their apprenticeship or trades qualifier. A machinist. Okay. Get important trade information about the duties, working conditions, and skills and abilities needed to work in this trade. You will be redirected to the ALICE website. So this is an excellent resource. I mean, you want to learn what it's going to take. Like this is the website. I just wish they had something as good in the United States, because I don't think they have something as good. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I've been looking, and this seems very comprehensive to let everyone know how to get into the trades and such. How do you calculate X? You just kind of eyeball it. So this applies to Alberta. They don't, and you're very jealous. Okay. This applies to Alberta, which is the province I'm in. Industrial mechanics, maintain, repair, troubleshoot, stationary industrial. Yes, we already learned that. Average salary is $83,000 a year. Average wage $42 an hour. Minimum education apprenticeship, provincially regulated. Apparently in high demand. Alberta, Jamaica. Ooh, I wanna take it. Who knew we'd be throwing in a Beach Boys song there, eh? 14,900 employed. Outlook, below average. Okay. New positions, 117. Job postings. Oh, 17 job postings. Okay. Do they have those job postings? That would be a good thing to look at, too. But yes, this is, had to go and make it gay. Okay, so you just click on these guys. And it really gives you some shorthand as to what goes on here. Put a woman in it. Make it gay and lame. Traits and skills. Educational requirements. Yeah, I mean, anything you want to know, they've got an answer for it. Employment and advancement. I get it's going to vary by state as well, I guess. Whatever the cost of living is and such in whatever state you live in. Oh, there's Alberta job postings right there. Let's see. What's here? Tolko Industries. They want 146 to 58 an hour. Machine Core. What's this one? 35 to 45. Atlantic Diesel Repair. 45 hourly. Canfor. That's like a sawmill, I think. 37 to 50 an hour. Norwich jobs list near you are listed at 35 to 45 an hour. Wow, that's really good. Yeah, that's I'm pretty sure, unless your cost of living is really high where you live, that'll be good. You make 18 now and live comfortably. Then you're laughing. Like, you're laughing if you start making that kind of money. And yeah. Yeah, 40 to 45. Another one working at the sawmill, 45 to 50. 35 to 40 at a machine works place. Count 21 to 35. Ooh, that's a little bit on the low end there. Hydraulics, 40 to 50. 37 at that place. 38 to 42. 8 maintenance. 55. Wow, that's really good. Oh, no wonder. That's working up in Fort McMurray. You're working in the oil sands. You're in the oil patch up there. No thanks. Not for me. 45 to 50 at an industrial services place. So there you go. That's roughly what you're getting into. You get information on all the program requirements and what you'll learn. Like, there's a whole guide you can get, curriculum guide it says here. Gives you a flow chart on where to go, what to do. Here's what you're going to learn in your first year. It breaks it all down. Section 1 is legislation and all that. I mean, you don't go too heavy on that because, it's legislation. It'll put you to sleep. Tools and fasteners, measurements and drawings and layouts. So you'll learn all about that, right? You'll learn about hand tools, power tools, fasteners. Then you'll learn about measuring tools, technical drawings and layouts. Bit of machining and machine alignment and machine installation and alignment. And you'll learn grouting, leveling and anchoring and shaft alignment. And that's what you'll learn in year number 1. So this is, like I say, they laid this out really well. List of currently scheduled classes. You get financial assistance, examinations, legislation. There you go. That's, you're trying to find out what to do here. It's like trying to build rockets with a spaghetti noodle. Yeah, Jay's daddy, without doxing yourself, like, which state are you in? I'm just curious. Don't tell me it's California. All you need to know about drawings and layouts is half the time engineers have no idea what they're drawing and they're signing off on. I know, Godzillionaire, yeah, you would know. It's a U.S. thing. Yeah, Georgia. He's a Georgia boy. Yeah, okay. But it is a U.S. thing. You know what? It was funny. I had to learn. I was learning ICS 100, which is Incident Command System, I think. And it's funny because they sent us to the FEMA website, and it's like, oh wow, I'm learning like FEMA stuff that FEMA is supposed to do when they set up for an incident command. And it's like, I'm taking this course, and I'm thinking to myself, why am I taking this course? I mean, there's going to be people at my place way more qualified to be the incident commander than me. You prefer WCS, waifu control schemes? You know what, Godzillionaire? So do I. So do I. And that's why I use Brave as my browser of choice, because it lets me pick what kind of background I want. And as you can see, this is my waifu control scheme. And it makes me happy. Especially this one. Because, you know, One Piece waifu. But yes, that is. Yeah, this is how it's all laid out here in my province. Brave is on top. Oh, Godzillionaire, don't shame me. You know what? I'll fix that up. I'll get some Marin on there, because she is top waifu for Dress Up Darling. Brave is on top. You're damn right it is. Oh. Godzillionaire shaming me. Anyways, that's what that's all about. So, any other questions you guys can direct to me. I'll try to help you out as much as I can. I have tried to look over the US version. And hey, Jay, nice to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, so I have tried to look up the US version of how to get into the trades and all that, and man, they do not help you at all. These guys, I don't know what it is, but they sure don't want you to succeed down there or something. I don't know. But you know what, Jay's daddy? Just come on and grab this website here. It's called tradesecrets.alberta.ca. And maybe this will help you out a lot more. Even if it is in the wrong country, but at least it'll let you know things a lot easier and a lot better. Moving along. I don't know if Godzillionaire will be... You forced me to watch all 12 episodes of My Dress Up Darling in a single day? Wow. You are an animal. Wow, you went right through those, eh? Well, tell me, wasn't it good? Huh? Wasn't it? I told you guys it was good. U.S. actively discourages people to join the trades. Gotta outsource that to the third world. Oh, no, not at all. First of all, don't let them tell you what to do. And secondly, always try to improve yourself. You definitely want to get out there and learn these things. I showed you guys there's so many trades out there. There's bound to be something for everyone. There's like 140 trades out there. You're bound to find something that appeals to you, and it's a skill you're going to take with you or learn and live with the rest of your life with. Especially the third world right above us. Hey, I resemble that remark. So, I don't know if anyone's gotten into CMMS software, like just maintenance software. It's something I use on a daily basis. Where I worked at before, we had this one, and it was called MP2, and it was pretty good. It didn't look like this. This must be their very updated version. Ours was a little more text-based, but it sure was nice to use for doing your preventative maintenance, having work orders made, tracking your pieces of equipment. So I've used this one. I've used SAP. SAP is a piece of garbage. I would never recommend that to anyone. And I don't get these companies that get it in their head to use SAP because it is so convoluted and difficult and not user-friendly. And it makes you just want to put your fists through the screen of your computer. In case you can't tell, I'm very disillusioned and angry at that. SAP is wonderful if you have 2 hours to write for a report to run. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm talking about, Godzillionaire. You use SAP where you work now and it's retarded. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, did somebody have a buddy that sold SAP and was like, hey, get your company to buy this? Honestly, you loved SAP? You were really, really good running reports and search functions? Yeah, but anything else you want it to do, I do not think it's good for maintenance. I really don't. Now, the one I use right now, I use this one from Rockwell Automation. It is called Fix. And I'll tell you what, this thing is awesome. SAP was God tier compared to Oracle. Fight me. I never used Oracle. So you don't worry about me fighting you with that one. This thing, look at this. So this is what my dashboard looks like.
Hi, my name is Jake Walters. I'm a solution.
You don't need to hear him yap it up about it. Make it big. There we go. Oh, but now I can't see you guys' chats. Just a second. Gotta move the window here. There we go. Okay, now let's try that. There we go. Yeah, this thing is neat. I like how it works. Very easy. The thing that was time consuming was the data entry of the parts. So I put in over 700 parts. You know, what it's called, where we buy it from, all that other stuff, part numbers, everything. Tried to input it all in, tried to link it together with the pieces of equipment it goes through, which is pretty easy to do. And yeah, and this is your main dashboard, and then you can, go down to your calendar, or you can submit a work request, or all that kind of good stuff, and then you hit up maintenance, and that'll show your tasks that you have to do. You can set schedules, and it's like, every 3 months do this, every 6,000 hours do this, every 5 years do this. Yeah, this is an excellent program, and I like using it. The OG program you learned was on freaking DOS based. Kind of preferred that. Sounds like it would be better. Manufacturer's part number, company part number, redundancy from the Department of Redundancy. Yeah. But now that I've got a lot of stuff entered into it, as far as assets, which is the machines you have and everything like that, and the supplies, the parts, and the suppliers, it's a pretty damn good machine. Every morning, fire it up. it pops up what needs to be done that week. It's like, okay, this week this is coming up. This week this is coming up. And I can plan my day and what I need to do. And then once I'm done, I just enter what I did. And then when you close out the work order, it goes into the history, and then you can check the history of that machine and what it was done to it. And it's great. I'm enjoying actually using this maintenance program. Yeah, and here he is. This guy that's probably trying to sell it to you is showing you what you can do. Grab windows, move them around, resize them. Create different titles and assets and everything like that. It even tells you when your items are low stock, so every time you use a part for a piece of machinery or whatever, you tell it, yes, I've used this one for this machine, and then it'll pop up and be like, oh, you're below your stock level, you better order some more. It lets you know when somebody put in a work request. How far behind you are. Your task completion percentage. Yeah, this is a good program. And I only got introduced to it when I started up at this new company. And I've really taken to it, and it's very user friendly. Like, it's very, very easy to pick up and learn. And I think that's a big thing. If you can't pick it up and learn it right away, you're just going to give up on it. Nobody's going to want to use it. But the way it is, we try to encourage all the operators to use it if they have to submit a work request. And then it'll come to my machine, and I'll look into it and be like, okay, work request, and then I'll assign it to myself or the electrician. No week-long training classes. Sounds like a poor programming design. And we do have people that have come to site. Oh, actually, and we've worked with them on Teams. Like we'll do like an information session. I haven't done one in a while, but I know they probably want to try to sell us some more additions to this. But I don't think we need anything more than this. But yes, this is once again, this is a tool to use for the tradesman. You're going to encounter maintenance software, and you're going to keep track of your parts more and more. You're going to keep track of your parts in this software program. Your parts, your work orders, all the stuff is going to be on here. And the managers like it because they can log in and see what's going on. So that's another thing too. It's being pushed by management. But yes, that is your maintenance software. It's good if you can get the chance to use it, if the company gives you a chance to get in there. Angry Canadian! Hey, buddy. Nice to see you. Just finishing up on some of the maintenance software here. This one here from Rockwell Automation is really good. It's called Fix, and I'm getting the hang of this thing, and it's really good. It does a good job tracking parts, work orders, all that kind of stuff. I just got to encourage the rest of the guys to use it as well, and that way, it'll become more valuable for tracking when they have problems and things like that, tracking all their work requests. And yeah, I know what you guys are here for now. I think we're going to switch over. How about some pictures? Pictures, we all love pictures. But before that, I think it's time to go to a commercial.
Oh, hey there everybody. How are you? Well, I don't always play video games, but when I do, I
Ah.
make sure to safely make a safety save in a safe environment. And if you don't know how to make a safety
Oh.
save, well then make sure you check out Pop Culture Mechanics, 9 a.m. Mountain Time and 10 a.m. Central on Saturday mornings, where you can learn how to make a safety save that you might be so excited you could dance if you wanna. So, come on and check out Pop Culture Mechanics on Saturday mornings. Going to see you there. Bye.
Finally! Yes! Whew! My God! Okay, I'm back. Hope you enjoyed the little commercial there by Drunk Waddle, one's favorite penguin. Yeah, dude, don't forget, you guys, do a safety save. It'll help you out. So, let's do this. Oh, there we go. All right. So, this is a stainless steel tubing line, which is used for draining the, what do we have here? We have cylinders. So, like, you know, the ones that have are like oxygen cylinders and such like that, but except ours are full of hydrogen sulfide. So anyways, these things have to be purged of all the material in them, all the leftover material, and then filled up. Well, I guess after purging for so long, the material that is in those cylinders gets into our lines and just starts to build up. Well, then you end up with something like this. Is that our cigarette lighter from an old car? You know what? I could see how you could see that. That's pretty good. But nope, that is all the debris from the inside of those cylinders, and it gets built up in these tubing lines, and this is what you end up with. And then what happens is I get a call saying that the line is plugged. We can't purge anything. And it's like, oh, okay. So there's the other side, and it looks okay. And then I come over, and there's your camera flash there, Godzillionaire. I know you like that. This is the new one. I think it was the what it was is the valve. So there's a needle valve that opens and closes, and that's where the buildup was. So we got a new needle valve, and I cleaned out that length of pipe. And as you can see, on either side, that is nice and clean. And that is nice and flashy. But yes, cleaning out that for this needle valve, looks like your average American's arteries. Yeah, don't let this happen, kids. Like, there's that little patch right there that was getting through, and that's restricting the flow for sure. But yeah, I disconnected it at that end and cleaned it out, put a new valve on, connected it back up, and she was good to go. One more thing. You guys might get a laugh out of this. Here we go. Clean the pipe? You mean thought rejuvenation? Yeah. I just got amaranth to suck on the end of it. Cleaned it right out. So it's you know, it's a nice day at work. I'm doing what I need to do. And then we get told that we have to put up nets to keep guys from falling out of the doors here at the docks. And first of all, no one has ever fallen out of the dock. And secondly, after we stopped laughing, I had to figure out what we needed to do to get this done. because, when the safety guy says to do something, you just do it. There's no sense arguing with them. Gonna lose. So as you can see here, each door needs a net, but I can't put a bullard into the floor, which most nets have. They have bullards in the floor, and the nets go across from bullard to bullard and latch on, and that's how it's done. The floor has in-floor heating in it. You can't drill into it. You're going to puncture one of the lines. So if you do that, it's going to cause a lot more trouble. So I had to explain to management, I'm like, okay, we can't use bullards. We'll have to go off of the framework of the door and bring in a welding company and an engineering company to look it over and do some drawings for us to make a framework for these stupid nets to hang off of. Oh, you know a supervisor who stepped off a loading dock like that? So the lost time accident streak was broken by management. Oh, man. That sucks. Yeah, I mean, safety doesn't care if you wear a white hat or, or your blue collar or white collar. Safety doesn't care. I think I got another shot here from the other direction. Yep, there we go. So I should have got some shots before these went up, but I don't think I did. But this is the final. And there's a shot from it outside. As you can see, that loading dock isn't that high. That's maybe 5 feet off the ground. But whatever, they wanted to make it a rule from up high, And there's a shot there, and you can see how they latch into it. It's very easy. It's just like you just loosen off these edges, unhook them, throw it to the side. 5 feet's a lot if you're walking backwards. Oh, falling off backwards? Yeah. But really, these doors don't get opened unless there's a truck there. So the truck backs in, and then the door opens. So that's probably why we haven't had anybody fall out of them before. Or ever. But yeah, I think these cost around, what was it, $1,400 for one? Maybe $2,800 for both of them? Anyway, it was an expense that, I don't know, maybe they didn't want to do, but so yeah, getting the engineering company in, figuring all out, that was quite the ordeal. Getting them in there, getting the drawings made up, getting them approved, then getting the welding company in to follow the drawings, put the framework in the right spot, have it attached accordingly so that it's strong enough. That's what I was afraid it wasn't going to be strong enough. But because you want to have it so that this net can stop a full-grown man from falling. So if he falls into the net, it has to stop him. The dude fell because we had a ramped loading bay and a recessed one like that for semis. He was on the wrong one backing up. Ow! You don't want to see anybody get hurt, really. No, it's not ideal. It just makes it bad all around. But yeah, as long as this can support a fully grown man falling and not letting him hit the ground, mission accomplished. So yeah, safety nets on docks. If you haven't seen them yet, they may become more commonplace. We'll have to see whether it catches on or not. But can it support cannonball? I'm not going to try it. It probably could, but I'm not going to try that. That's not what I'm going to try. Darn it, I have to update my pictures again. I have to throw them back on here. You like to pretend the truck dock is space dock? You make the sounds? Or do you make the Deep Space Nine when the airlock was opening? All right, Bed Calleth enjoyed the stream. Hey, right on, Jay's daddy. You have a good one. Thanks for coming out. I think I'm going to start wrapping it up here too. It was a fun stream. I really enjoyed having you guys out. Airlock sounds and hiss. Yep. Did I show you the handle I made last week, Godzillionaire? Did you see that? Let me know. Let me know if you saw that new handle I made. Oh, you're busy. Yeah, okay, good. Okay, good. Yeah. Here's the old handle for the safety shower. You pull it, right? It activates. Water comes down. You push it back up. Well, as you can see, the guys were pushing it up, but this thing is like made out of 1/4-inch rod. And there's the magnet sensor. So when you pull that away from the sensor, the alarm goes off, lets somebody know that they're having trouble in the safety shower. With the handle, of course. And yes, see how bent up that red handle is? Look at that. Now that's anyways, the guys were complaining about it. They're like, hey, look at this thing's bending. We're not being able to close the shower hard enough, put enough force on it to close the valve. I was like, okay, no problem. I will make you guys one. So I got myself a piece of stainless steel tubing. And I measured it out and got the tubing bender. Does the safety shower count as a safety save? It might. When you're covered in acid or something like that, you're definitely going to feel that you've done a safety save. And you can start over again. There's my little welding job I did. I didn't think it was too bad. I used a MIG. I didn't burn through the wall, the tubing wall, so that's good. There's a little better shot of it there. Did that one. And here's what it looks like from the side view. So that's, and there's where I've got it back in place. You can see the handle I made with the valve handle and the magnet right here, and the sensor is right there too. So yeah, right there is where the valve, there's the valve handle, and there's the handle I made to activate it. A little bit of a better shot. Very close quarters, so I had to bend this in a little further, just so there's enough room. You can see here, sensing area. So it's watching for this magnet. As soon as that magnet moves, though, the alarm goes off. There it is, hanging in place there. There's a little better shot of it. So guys can reach out and yank down on it, and then they'll be able to rinse off any of the chemical that they're covered in. There's another shot there. That's a little better. That's a little better of a shot for show you the whole of the valve handle, magnet, sensor, and the handle. And right beside it, you can just catch it, is the shower head. Oops. Not this one. Not that one. There we go. Yeah, there's the shower head right there. And that's it for that. Yeah. So that was what I was quite proud of, the making the new handle. So I'm sure the guys will try it out. Because I believe they check the safety shower every week. Once a week they check it out to make sure it is okay. Make sure it's in operating condition. Because you need to, in the environment we're in, industrial chemical plant, you need to make sure those things are in operating condition. Otherwise, heads will roll. big trouble. So yeah, pretty happy about that weld. Making it up. And yeah, the old one. People that made that made it originally, they should not be proud of that. This just in regular use, this thing shouldn't bend. I don't know why they didn't make it out of tubing. Tubing's a lot stronger. Instead, somebody just grabbed a piece of 1/4-inch rod and decided that was good enough. My eyes, the goggles do nothing. Yeah, exactly. Rainier Wolfcastle, yeah. So yeah, there you go. That is. Look at that. That's like I say. That's some of the things that you encounter when you're in the life of maintenance. You know, you never know what's going to happen. Somebody's going to come up and present you with something, and it's going to be like, oh, okay, well, guess I'll do something about it. It's usually finding some solutions to the problems that people bring you. You never know what to expect, but you shouldn't be surprised. But yet again, I do get surprised. The things that tubing shower lever was only designed for a single use. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, once you pull it, that's it. Got to go buy another one. But I say, the guys that designed it were just, ugh. Don't use those guys again. And the funny thing is that thing cost so much. I think it cost like $500,000. It's like, really? $500,000 for that safety shower? Oof. Man, oh man. A lot of safety stuff is literally only designed for... Yes. And if you don't know, or you haven't seen, what do you call it? The first aid stuff has expiry dates on it now. So you have to throw the stuff away and get new stuff to replenish it I think it's every year. Every year or 2 years. That's what it's like for us anyway. I don't know what it's like for you guys, but there's like expiry dates on this stuff. And I think they did that on purpose just so they could sell more stuff, because I don't care how old a Band-Aid I have at my house is. I'm using it. If it's 10 years old and it's still in the package, I'm going to open it up and use it. It's almost like it's a scam. Yeah. It's like a scam. And with the amount of lead time everything takes to get, just don't even ask me about Scott packs or anything like that. I waited almost a year to get new regulators for our SCBAs. A whole year of them being on order. It was just, I was just nauseated by that. I'm like, they're doing business like this? Like, ugh. When does a tourniquet become a tourniquet? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I think I'm going to wrap her up here, fellas. This was a fun time. I always have a good time with you guys on Trades Talk, and I hope you do too. I want to thank everybody that stopped on by today. People like Jay's Daddy, Angry Canadian, Jake D, DJ Ronnie G, everyone's favorite Kaiju Godzillionaire, and Veritax, and anyone else that happened to be, oh yes, and Jay from Desolate Soul Studios. I met him on Leon's stream on Monday. That was fun. Thanks a lot, Jay. Appreciate you stopping by. And anyone else that happened to be watching and waiting and lurking, I appreciate you coming by. It makes for a fun time. And I hope I taught you a little bit of what it's like to be in the skilled trades, and hopefully, it piqued your interest and maybe you want to learn more. So if you can do me a favor, you guys, please just hit that like button. It helps me out. Let YouTube know that you guys like what you see. Spread the word. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'm slowly climbing that ladder to get 1,000 subs. I think I'm at 841 right now. So just the slow, tedious climb. I'm working at it. And just, hey, get the word, spread the word out there, will you? I would really appreciate it. There's other good channels out there too, people I will personally watch and enjoy, like Pacific 414 and Blaine from Blaine's Escape Corner. There's Ronan66, DJ Ronnie G. I see you in the chat there, DJ Ronnie G. Brandon the Anime Guy. You want to see a good anime channel? You watch his. It's very enjoyable, quite entertaining. Nerdporial Lifeform. There's Angry Canadian. I'm hoping he gets back into streaming soon. I want to see some of his stuff. And I believe his channel anniversary is coming up pretty soon too, so don't miss that. Angry Canadian and his channel anniversary. Come on. Got a party with him on that one. Woopa Troopa, once he gets his setup going again, I hope to see some of his chill streams. And then there's Punkwaddle at 4 from Under a Rock, and he has his own YouTube channel, and he's on Snowdub's channel, so he is everywhere you want to be. I got a Discord. It's called The Shop because that's where all the tradesmen hang out. We hang out at the shop. Coming up Saturday, game stream. I am playing Golden Sun for the GBA. This game is so much fun so far. I'm really enjoying it. I love how it looks, and I'm sorry I missed it like when it first came out, but now I'm making up for it. What a great game. Sunday's anime chat. The theme of the month is Kaiju in anime. So, stop on by. I'll show you some anime shows that have kaiju in them. And who doesn't like a good kaiju show, huh? Might even see some of Godzillionaire's relatives. When does Blaine get back from Japan? Somebody was saying the 20th? Maybe when he gets back? I haven't heard much anything yet from his channel or his Discord, but I'm hoping that's true. Because wouldn't he want to be back for Thanksgiving Day for you guys? We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, and then after Sunday is Tuesday, Trades Talk Tuesday. I'll be around. I'm going to have to update my pictures. I forgot to put a bunch on. I was hoping to show you guys a few things in regards to hand tools. So I'm kicking myself now, but I will have them for next week. So tune in next week, Trades Talk. I'll have some hand tool pictures for you, and something we can all enjoy, I think. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys on Saturday for the game stream. Enjoy some Golden Sun. But until then, everyone, I appreciate you being here. And I've been Pop, and I am signing off.